too fast, and he was a bit overwhelmed, but started to get more and more minutes throughout the season and really blossomed with the extra opportunities.
Here's Thomas. Poke loose. Here's Owens.
Ricky Owens! Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Timberwolves leading by 13. Towns, the pass to Owens. From deep. The rebound by Johnson. The Celtics have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Passes it to Bradley. Busted. No good that time either. Minnesota's gone 3 of 4 on 3-pointers in the first quarter. Doing well from long range. Here's Thunder. He's got 13. Towns, the pass to Owens.
In last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. It might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do tend to help.
Terrific game for Thunder. He's already got 14 points, and he's drained 3 three-point bombs so far.
Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Keep firing from out there when the shot's falling like this. You know, he just, like every other coach, can't stand when the defense gives up points on the inside. And boy, are they struggling in there.
Yeah, well, they're getting pummeled in there. So you've got to figure out a way to make some adjustments to try to change that around, and that's why he needed the timeout.
Bradley kicks to Thomas. Celtics passing it around. Johnson the screen. Up top, Crowder. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Clock is at 3. Shot to stop the drought. But they recover it. And the shot is long.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Well, Greg, it would work out for Minnesota with all those losses. They got the lucky bounce, Clark, and the #1 pick in the draft.
And, you know, it's the first time in a long time that the worst team in the league actually got the top pick in the draft, allowed Minnesota to add another great young big to complement Rookie of the Year, Andrew Wiggins.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Minnesota.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Here's Thunder after Jared Sellinger's bucket. Here's Thunder.
It's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
And that's 4 turnovers for him here in the first quarter alone. He's got to snap out of it.
He's trying to do too much. TMI, too much instinct. Just relax. Let the game come to you. Play in the flow. Stay within yourself.
Nikola Pekovic is checked in for the Timberwolves.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
Thomas, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And, of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for Levine. Then for the Celtics, Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Sellinger. Noretko comes in for Crowder, and Marcus Smart is subbed in for Avery Bradley. Now here's Thomas. D right on him. There's the pick. Down low. Here's Noretko. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Greg, you're talking about Isaiah Thomas before. Certainly his short stature limits him on Clark, the defensive side.
Yeah, but you know what? He doesn't rack up a ton of steals, given his instincts and quickness. I think he really focuses on making his impact at the offensive end.
The Boston Celtics figured to be near the bottom of the league last year. In many ways, they outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
And by no means were they a contender at any point, but they very well could be ahead of themselves in terms of the rebuilding process.
Here's Thomas, following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Now here's Smart. Boston, no good that time either. Stolen by Smart. Pass to Turner. Got a piece of it. And here's the fast break. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And it's Wiggins missing.
Oh, boy, that would have been a nice alley-oop.
Boy, really liked the thought on that play, but didn't quite get it executed. Almost made a spectacular play.
And so it's Minnesota with it. Isaiah Thomas unable to get his last shot to go.
And with the Celtics being a surprise threat near the end of last season, even their losses were a close game.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Prince is checked in. Here's Thunder. 23 points in the game. The pass to Pekovic. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
That's really a good picture of what not to do on those last two possessions. I mean, they're being way too casual with the ball.
It's going to cost them if they keep it up. They need to get back to playing smart basketball.
Kevin Garnett, he's checked in for Minnesota. And Thomas, here we go. Smart, wide open, he fires. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist.
To back up your point about the Celtics being in close games, I mean, their point differential on the year was less than where you would expect it to be for a team that made the playoffs. I mean, it really gives you an idea of how many close games they played.
Here's Thunder. Timberwolves passing it around. Just 5 on the clock. Fires the 3. And good on the basket. Cooking. Thunder's got 26 points.
Man, they are doing some damage from deep.
Which is the main reason, partner, they're sitting on this big lead. Awesome shooting so far.
Minnesota leading by 23. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Pekovic with a screen. Here's Owens. No good with the triple. Smart with the ball. We're at the end of... And Amir Johnson re-signed in Toronto. He's been a big part of this team for years, and he talked about their great fan support in Toronto.
Almost like a soccer atmosphere.
A lot of fans south of the border in the U.S. are surprised when they learn how passionate, Clark, the fans in Toronto can be.
You know, Kevin, that's so true. I mean, when they get it going at the Air Canada Center, that place rocks. And it's great to hear Amir talk about how that pumps him up and makes him want to do it for Canada.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And a comfortable margin for the Timberwolves here, guys.
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
Good ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play on the court for Minnesota. They've got Gorgie Dang, Garnett out there with Tayshaun Prince. Then there's Muhammad, and it's Levine in at the 1. Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota.
Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through Sullinger. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying He is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
All right, Doris. Minnesota calls timeout. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Towns, he's checked in for Jack. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Tayshaun Prince. And Thunder subbed in for Muhammad. Here's Owens. It's good. That takes him to 77% shooting this game. 10 for 13.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Minnesota's gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside. Three-pointer. And Boston with the rebound.
Well, so far for Coach Brad Stevens, the Celtics have had nothing but praise for their outstanding young coach. No surprise for those of us who know Brad. The team is really moving ahead in the rebuilding process, and he gets a lot of the credit.
Thunder's got 4 points now in the quarter. The Celtics have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Here's Sullinger. That one falls coming off Johnson's feet. And that's now 6 points for Jared Sullinger. Here's Thunder. 30 points in the game. Garnett, the screen. In the corner, it's Wiggins. No good on the three. For Boston, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Crowder, and again it's Boston converting. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Owens. They grab their own miss. Garnett nails the baby hook.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until the defense puts up a little more resistance, they ought to continue to pound them down low. Could it have been any other way? I mean, last season, KG returning to the Wolves. I mean, the entire city was buzzing for his return.
Now about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball. Johnson dishes to Crowder. Here's Sullinger. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Sullinger's got 8 points. Kevin Garnett was once the star here and now is acting as the mentor for all these young Timberwolves players. He won't let them slack even for a moment on or off the floor.
You know, it's that competitive fire that made KG so great, Kevin, and Minnesota made a savvy move, I think, to get him into the locker room and back on the squad.
Here's Thunder after Jared Sullinger's bucket. Owens passes to Levine. Elbow shot. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no lying in those totals.
Now here's Crowder. Bradley, no one around him. Wide open, couldn't capitalize. Here's Thunder. There's a good screen. To the wing on the left. 6 to shoot. Banked in off the glass. Thunder's got 6 here in this quarter.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
Now, here's Bradley. Here's Sullinger. Boston again missing.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be. Firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
They get it back. Bradley on the double team. Garnett the screen. Wiggins drives in. Terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor with their offense in the paint because that has not been up to par.
And Sullinger kicks to Crowder. They double him with Wiggins. Now here's Smart. Defense is right there. Snatched up. Sullinger with the bucket. Sullinger's got 6 here in this quarter.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Stolen by Smart. Lays it in off the breakaway.
How about the quick hands on the steal and the quick feet on the break?
Yeah, a careless, silly mistake there, though. I mean, coughing the ball up and then not being quick enough to get back on defense, that's costly.
And he gets it to go. 35 points for Thunder.
This is why I love his game. You really have to admire his tenacity.
The Celtics have gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Last season for the Timberwolves, it was a struggle most of the season. Young teams tend to do that, but they didn't have, unfortunately, Greg, much luck at home.
You know, they basically limped their way to a league worst 9-32 record at home. Part of taking your lumps as a young team. Let's see how they respond this season.
Here's Thunder. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket. From deep. No luck. The Celtics have gone 8 of 12 since the start of the second quarter. That's a really high percentage, hitting around 67%. Can't get it to go. He's made 4 and just missed his 4th. There's the pick. Here's Owens. Connects from three-point range. Thunder's got 38 points.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
Smart dishes to Johnson. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
Here's Thunder. He has 38 in the game. To the left side wing. Garnett with it. Out guarded by Smart. And that one's good.
Really good awareness right there on the assist. Let's go.
Boston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Bradley kicks to Johnson. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns.